I imagine, but don't worry. You are going to practice the audio and phonetics so you can understand
Okay.
your audio.
Okay.
So
Thank
no
you.
problem. In this moment, let's go through the listening practice of the video.
Mhm.
Let me just make a little. The instructions are exactly the same, similar to the previous video. We need to listen and make transcriptions, phonetic recognition. Let's go. Just a second. Oops. Okay. Let's listen. 1, 2, 3. Action.
So, baby, I'm just curious. Do you know what to do in a situation where a tenant stops paying their rent?
No. Oh, evict them.
Right, but there's a process to evicting them. I recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business, so I decided to take her to look at some of my properties. The local
Wait,
coordinator-
Poppy, can I drive, please?
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive?
Because I was going to forget.
Girl, get in the car.
I'm a hands-on learner, and I need to have my hands on that wheel.
I'll take you back to an amusement park, and you'll get your hands back on a bumper car wheel.
Poppy, can I get my learner's permit?
Your learner's permit? No. You can't ever drive. You're gonna ride a bicycle all of your life.
But I could help out. I could go to the store, put gas in the car. I could do a lot of stuff.
I don't know, Dave. That's a lot.
I'm almost 16, and I feel like I need to learn how to drive at some point. Now is the point. But Poppy, he still looks at me as his little girl, and I think that he's not ready to see me driving and dating.
Would you rather me not drive or not have a boyfriend?
I would rather you not have a boyfriend.
Okay.
So, I guess you win this argument.
How come I can't have my permit and companionship at the same time?
Because that's too much for Poppy to handle. Poppy can handle both of those.
But I'm yearning for companionship.
But no, you don't need to yearn for no companion. You yearn to be closer to your Poppy. You yearning. Get over here. You yearn to be with your Poppy. There, it's okay. Your yearning will go away. I'll never forget when I first started driving, Gigi told me, the day is gonna come, you're gonna get sick of driving. And I'm like, no, not me. I ain't gonna never get sick of driving. I love driving. So Gigi saw to it that she had me go everywhere. When I got through, I was like, oh my God, I'm sick of driving.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. I mean, let me say this. Respectfully, we have to allow it. You should be driving, because I was driving at your age. But here's the deal. We're gonna have to go to church first and see if we can get some holy water. And we're gonna douse our bodies with holy water and the vehicle. And then we're gonna ask Jesus Christ and all of Nazareth to come down and be in the car with us while you drive, especially while you're driving in the car with me. Oh, Jesus, my daughter wants to drive.
Hi. That's adorable. Adorable, very bad father, Jesus Christ. Let her drive. No? So, let's listen and let's dose. Okay, let's listen to the first part, the first section, so we can understand the listening. It's a difficult case, so get ready. Number 1, Isti. Let's start with you.
So, baby, I'm just curious. Do you know what to do in a situation where a tenant stops paying their rent?
No. Oh, evict them.
Right, but there's a process to evicting them. I recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business.
Isti, let's begin with the fathers in this section, okay?
So there's a process to evicting them. I recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business. So
Um, sorry, teacher, I can't hear. Teacher?
Okay. No, yes, sorry. So then let's listen again.
Aha.
there's a process to evicting them. I recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business.
Starting the Darian starting
Okay.
to learn my business.
Okay. So you have a paraphrasis. You understand, but the words are not in the correct form, or the connectors are extra information. Okay, so you need to focus on structure because you understand, and you understand very well. Okay,
Okay.
let's listen again. This is the second chance,
Okay.
So there's a process to evicting them. I recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business.
Okay. I recently
Mhm.
start to teach started teach? No.
Okay. Did you say to start, started, or starting? Because you mentioned the three. Select one.
I recently no started is in
Okay.
past started.
That is totally correct.
It's in past started. It started teach.
Mhm. Finish.
Finish.
Okay, teach is partially correct. Because yes, he pronounces teach, but not in present. So let's go now to Elsie. Help us, Elsie. Let me start with, I'm sorry, just a second. Let's go. First shot.
Them.
Right, but there's decided to evicting them. I recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business.
Recently, I started teaching.
Correct.
My real estate. I remember something like real estate. My real estate.
Correct. Okay. Second repetition.
Okay.
So there's a process to evicting them. Recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business.
Recently, I started teaching Darian my real estate business.
Okay, my real estate business.
Business. I can hear the
The mysterious word?
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, then let's go to the next. Final repetition.
Okay.
Right, but there's a process to evicting them. Recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business.
No, teacher. Sorry.
Not at all? Nothing?
No, it's so fast for me.
It's so fast for you. Then let's go to Laurita. What did he say?
Say about.
Yes, but pronunciation.
I hear about.
Boat, but boat doesn't exist.
Okay.
Phonetics match, eh?
Much.
Phonetics match, yes, but it's not boat.
Okay. It's about.
Very good. That's correct.
Because he teaching about my real estate business.
Exactly. Teaching about my real estate business. We are talking about his. When you say teach, normally you collocate the connector about.
Okay.
Teach about the business or teach about history, teach about geography. The connector is about.
Okay.
Very, very good, Laurita. Okay, you, Laurita, open the next.
The next.
Attention.
Hands on that.
In the middle of me, the local teaching Darren about my real estate business. So I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
I hear take.
Correct.
Take. Only take.
Only take.
Again, please.
Yes, of course. Let's listen.
Teaching Darren about my real estate business. So I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
So I.
Excellent.
I teacher. Only that. So I.
Okay, no problem. Just a second, I'm answering Arturo in the chat. It's in these groups. It's in these groups. Description. Okay, repetition number 3.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Teaching Darren about my real estate business. So I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
Decided.
Perfect. Good job.
So I. I decided to take.
Exactly, because grammatically it's
Yes.
obvious, no?
Yes. To take.
That's correct. Any more words?
No, teacher, only.
No problem. Then let's go to Benji. First shot.
Hi. Daring about my real estate business, so I decided to take a look at some of my properties.
Okay. To talk.
What do you have, Benji?
I guess the man says to look.
Correct. Mhm.
Business?
Incorrect.
No.
That's in the previous information.
Okay.
Okay. Second shot.
Teaching daring about my real estate business, so I decided to take a look at some of my properties.
Algo de some properties.
Okay. In English, something like. What do you
Sorry.
mean? Algo de. Come on.
Something like some properties.
Some properties. Okay. Some properties.
Properties.
Just like that. Oh, okay. This is very interesting. We understand portions of information. This is the part that is difficult. Like the final spaces are normally super difficult because Dennis is speaking super fast. So these probably are monosyllable or very, 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 very fast. No?
Yes.
So that is a challenge. Let's check. Number. Do you have one more chance, Benji? I think so.
No, these only words that I can yes, listen.
But how many times I repeated? 3 or 2?
Two.
2, no? Okay.
Yes.
Final chance.
Okay.
Attention.
Teaching daring about my real estate business, so I decided to take a look at some of my properties.
It's sorry. Before to word loop is at.
Don't tell me before. Tell me complete ideas. So
So I decided
Mhm.
to take it, to look
Take
at.
it to look at. Okay. You are so close. So close. It's impossible that it's take it.
Okay.
But now let's comprehend. I think in this case you need comprehension, not phonetical. I mean, phonetics is only one part. The other part is context. Understand the words. It says, I decided to take. The question is to take what or to take who? Because take is the action of grabbing a thing and putting on the different location. This is definition number 1. Do you agree?
Okay. Yes.
Definition number 2. I enter my car with a different person and I drive to a destination. This is definition number 2. So what definition for take is it? Definition number 1 or definition number 2?
The
Do you Let me repeat. That was confusing. Take has many definitions. Definition number 1 is similar to carry. Carry is to have a hand and to take. I am taking my coffee, right?
Okay, right.
Definition number 2 is to go with somebody.
Okay.
You know, have a friend and you take your friend to the party. In the video, what definition of take are we using? Definition number 1?
Okay. Definition number 2.
Exactly. So you see how context helps you understand the mysterious words. Take who? To look at the properties.
I believe the word is her.
Very good. Take her. In a moment, we are going to study this one, guys. But by context, you can complete the sentence. You see? Number 1 is phonetics, yes. But also important, similar to phonetics, is also context. What is happening in the audio? The trifecta of understanding. Yes or no, HB?
Yes.
Right? Everybody understands?
Yes.
There
Yes,
you go.
teacher.
So then, let's pass to who's next? Charlie. Are you ready, Charlie?
Yes, teacher. Hi, how are you?
Excellent. Very good, brother. Very good. Thank you very much. Let's practice.
The local
Wait,
coordinator
how-
about my real estate business. So I decided process to evict him. We recently started teaching Darren about my real estate business. So I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
I understand business. I forget.
Okay. Well, you need to focus because business is in the previous idea. Do you see?
Yeah.
Business is not part of the mysterious words.
Okay. Oh,
It
sorry.
says,
Okay. It's
right?
okay.
Let's listen again
I begin in
with the audio, no?
yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
understand, but that's too much information. No, that's too much.
Okay.
Only the final part.
Yeah.
Teaching Darren about my real estate business. So I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
At my properties.
At my properties, correct. Because similar to what happened to Benji, is it correct to say to look at some at properties?
Okay.
Probably the phonetics sound similar, but the context is not correct. Grammatically also is not correct. You need the 3 validations. The 3 validations are phonetic match, context, and grammar.
Okay. And look at someone.
Someone,
No.
someone properties. Does it sound correct?
Someone. Any properties? No.
Someone, any properties? No, you are guessing.
Okay, no.
You are playing darts, you know? Yes. No. You need to match with context. You need to understand the idea. You need all the comprehension, the possible comprehension. Second play.
Poppy, can I drive, please?
Teaching Darren about my real estate business, so I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
I don't understand this way.
You don't understand. So, you don't understand this line because you don't understand the audio. Oh no, you don't understand the context of the video. What is properties?
Properties is place or building.
A building, no?
Yeah.
And then what is real estate?
Real estate. Estate property in the form of land of business is like
Is similar to properties.
yeah.
So then what is real estate business? What's the meaning of real estate business?
I don't know what my real estate is.
Can you repeat? I didn't understand.
No, I only read the phrase.
Okay. Sorry.
I understand that the his daughter.
Daughter pronunciation.
His daughter
Uh-huh.
is his real estate business, maybe.
His daughter is what?
Is his real estate business?
His daughter is his real estate business?
No.
His daughter is his real estate business. Incomplete. What do you want to say? Speak Spanish. ¿Su hija?
Ajá, como que su hija es su verdadero negocio, algo así.
Entonces sí te entendí.
Algo así le entendí.
Okay. Okay, real estate. Okay. Real estate is not similar to daughter. Okay, real estate is not the daughter. No. Real estate is buildings.
Yeah.
Constructions. Not the daughter.
No, but who is Darian?
Darian is a daughter. Recently I started teaching Darian.
Por eso lo relacioné así, más o menos.
Okay. But then you are ignoring the connector about. The connector about separates information.
Okay.
I, the father, started teaching my daughter about my business. Do you understand?
Okay.
What type of business is the real estate business?
real estate business is only one phrase, only yes, okay.
You're kind of lost. You're kind of lost. Definition for real estate? Definition for real estate. It's right here. Charlie, don't mute.
Real estate is property in the form of land or buildings.
Building. So real estate business is buildings business or business of buildings.
Wow.
The father sells and buys buildings.
Okay.
Sells and buys.
Okay.
So what properties, if you understand that, what properties are they going to look at?
Buildings. Look at some buildings.
But what buildings? Whose business is this? Whose memory, previous level, whose business is this? Possessive. Whose business are we talking about?
Their properties.
Close. Whose business are we talking about?
They
who?
Their buildings.
They who? Who is they? Come on, Charlie. Who is they?
Darian and Dennis, no?
Darian and Dennis. Now check the they. Is the business of Dennis or the business of Darian?
Of Dennis.
Dennis, so it's not they. It's only one person. Whose business are we talking about?
His business.
Ta-da! His business. So whose properties are we talking about?
From his business.
Whose properties are we talking about?
His
buildings. You have properties here. Whose properties?
Buildings.
Eliminate buildings. Whose properties? Possessive for the properties.
My properties.
Tada! Yes, my properties. Yes or no? Do you understand the connection?
Yes.
This connection is the connection of context only. Well, context and vocabulary. Because, of course, phonetics in this moment are super difficult, but you need to understand the context. If you don't understand the context, phonetics are turbo difficult. But context can help you. I repeat, context can help you. If you pay attention to the context, you will understand phonetics. Listen the audio again and you detect my properties. Attention.
Telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive. So I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
Did you understand the my?
Yeah.
You see? Thank you to context. Yes or no?
Okay. Yes.
You see? So, guys, this is a tip for everybody. Understanding phonetics is one option. But if phonetics are very, very difficult, check your context. Probably the context will help you. Finally, what is the final word? Elsie,
Of.
of course. Complete idea, Elsie.
Recently, I started teaching Darian about my real estate business, so I decided to take her
Mhm.
to take a look some of my properties.
Watch again. It doesn't say take a look.
Take her to look at. Recently, I started teaching Darian about my real estate business,
Mhm.
so I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
Exactly. And this idea is complete. Listen again.
Teaching Darren about my real estate business. So I decided to take her to look at some of my properties.
Quickly, yes or no?
Right.
Something I want to analyze with you is this section. Take her. Take her. Everybody pronounce. Pronunciation, everybody. Her.
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 What happens? What happens when Dennis is speaking? Dennis don't pronounce the H. Dennis pronounce only taker. Taker. Taker to look.
The local real estate business. So I decided to take her to look at some.
Take her to look. Take her to look. Everybody, take her to look.
Take her to look.
Take her to look.
Uh-huh.
Take her to look at.
Mm-hmm. When American people speak fast, normally the H in American English disappears. Disappears. Sometimes the H vanishes in American English. So people pronounce, they don't pronounce them, they pronounce take them. They don't pronounce him, they pronounce take him. And in this case, Dennis is pronouncing taker. Okay? Why? Well, that's American English. In American English, they speak so fast that some phonetics disappear. In the Oxford Dictionary, you have these variations. Sometimes it sounds her. Other times it sounds her. Other times it sounds her. And other times it sounds her. It depends. Okay?
Okay.
Questions? Nobody questions?
No, teacher.
All right.
Great.
No.
All right. So let's continue with the next one. Elsie, you open the next.
Okay.
And I need to have my hands on.
The local
Wait,
coordinator
Poppy, can I?
teaching Darren about my real estate business, so I decided to take her to look at some of my properties. The local
Wait,
coordinator
Poppy, can I drive?
Wait, Poppy, can I drive?
You are totally correct. Oh my god, very good. Yes, that's Tyrion. Repeat.
Poppy, can I drive?
Uh-oh. Let's understand this one. Uh-huh.
Poppy?
Yeah,
The
Poppy.
Oh,
This is Poppy. Mhm.
Poppy, like woof woof.
Uh-oh,
No,
the pronunciation is Poppy.
Poppy.
And
Okay,
this one is Poppy.
Poppy. Okay.
Also, the pronunciation, no, the spelling is different.
Oh,
puppy.
It's not the other.
Poppy.
Poppy.
Okay.
Some people call the father Pops.
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 Pop.
Hey, Poppy.
That's how Pops.
Okay.
And the mysterious word?
Wait.
Exactly. Good job. Confirmation.
Some of my properties. The local
Wait,
coordinator
Poppy, can I drive?
It's just one wait and two puppies.
Oh,
I
yeah, that's
think.
right. Complete.
Wait, Poppy, can I drive?
Wait, Poppy, can I drive? Very good. Good job. Take a note on the punctuation, people. When you take your notes, check the commas, check the apostrophes. Everything is necessary to pay attention. Capital letters, everything.
Okay.
Good job, girl. Very, very good. Let's go now with Arthur. Are you ready, man? Are you there, Arthur? Okay, Arthur is not here, so let's go with Isti. You next.
in my properties. The local
Wait,
coordinator
Poppy, can I drive, please?
in the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
In the middle of business? No.
Good job. In the middle.
In the middle of business? That's all in this moment.
That's all in this moment.
Can you repeat?
Of course, let's listen.
Can I drive, please?
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
In the middle of me tell you about?
Okay.
In the middle of me tell me you about?
About what?
The business? No, the business. About the business? No.
The eliminator?
About business?
Exactly.
About business. In the
Okay.
middle of me Tell, telling.
Very good, Isti.
eh,
Very good, because tell grammatically was
No.
incorrect, but the word
Telling.
was correct.
Of telling you
Exactly.
about business.
Telling you about business. Uh-huh. That is Dennis talking now. Okay. Final repetition, Isti.
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive?
I can hear drive.
Okay.
I want. A ver. I want to drive.
The only word that is correct is drive. That's
Okay.
the only one. But that's good. That's good. You have 50% of the idea. That's enough. Okay, okay. Continue training. You practice the video, no?
Me?
Did you practice the video on the weekend?
No.
Well, then this is talent, because you got many, 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 many words. So, very good. I really recommend that you watch the video on the weekends, guys. Watch the video on the weekends, check your list, study the video because it's super effective for comprehension. Super, super effective. All right, guys. Well, in this moment, let's give a little moment because Jessie is in the chat. Jessie, you can pass attendance.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So
Hi.
I will take attendance, please. Grecia.
Yes. Absent.
All right. Hugo.
Absent.
Lau.
Present.
Hi, Lau.
Hello, Jessie.
Thank you. Hi, Lau. Benji.
Present.
Hi, Benji.
Hi, yes.
Este.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Este. Good night. Janice.
Absent.
Raúl.
Absent.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. Thank you. Cesar.
Cesar absent too.
Elsie.
Hello, here.
Hi, Elsie. Thank you. Arturo.
Here.
Hi, Arturo. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
So that's all. Thank you, everyone. And happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye-bye. Perfect. So let's go. Let's open the next. Go. Who's next? Who's next? Arthur, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Excellent. Did you see the mechanic?
No.
You
You
didn't
repeat, please?
see. You didn't see the mechanic with the rest of the students? Arthur.
Sorry, can you repeat, please, teacher?
I repeat. Did you see the mechanic with your partners?
No.
Okay, so you need to hear the video and tell me what are the mysterious words. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Let's listen.
Of me telling the local
Wait,
coordinator
Poppy, can I drive, please?
in the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive?
Then understand you.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
Again, the video, teacher, please.
Yes, of course. Let's listen.
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Well, you need to check the context. What happened in the middle of him telling Darian about business? What interrupted Dennis?
Yeah?
And why did she interrupt Dennis?
Why?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Listen to the middle for 2% show. No, I'm sorry, teacher.
Check, pay attention to the audio. It says here, Darian, wait, Poppy, can I drive?
Right.
Do you see this?
Yes.
So this word drive is repeated here. So there is
Yes.
a correlation. What is the correlation?
Is the answer? No, question. Since you can? Yes, you can.
You are very close, but now in the validation of audio, he never pronounces can. So you are very close, but the phonetics don't match. Let's listen again. Second validation.
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
Business and your accidents? To
Your
drive?
accidents. Drive. The word accidents don't have match with the context, the conversation.
Yes.
You see, so that's impossible. It is impossible that is accidents. Remember, for comprehension, you need three components. Number one, that the context match. Number two, that the phonetics match. And number three, the structures. Your grammatical structures need to be correct. So the word accidents don't match with the context.
Yes.
Do you agree? Final repetition.
And I need
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
I can help you with a comma.
So it's very difficult for me.
Nah, that's not very difficult for you. If you are speaking English in this moment, this is not difficult for you. Come on. So
I don't understand.
tell me, what is when Darian pronounced Poppy, can I drive? Is this a question or an affirmation?
It's a question.
It's a question. What is the verb that means question? What is the verb for questions? How do you say preguntar in English?
The verb? Drive?
Repeat.
The verb is drive?
Again, how do you say preguntar in English?
Question.
Oh, okay, we need vocabulary. Let's go to the dictionary and let's check the pronunciation, Arthur.
Yes.
Pronunciation?
Ask.
Exactly.
Ask.
Question is the concept. Ask is the verb.
Okay.
Okay. Listen to Darian, not to Dennis, the last time.
In middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
You asking it?
Now, grammatically, you asking is impossible. Because asking, ing, I need verb to be. This is formula number 3.
Yes.
Check your formulas. What verb do you need in this case?
One moment.
Are we speaking in present or in past?
In the past?
So what is the verb?
Ask.
Excellent. Ta-da! So it's not difficult, you see? It's only logic.
More or less, it's phonetics difficult.
It's
Very.
not only phonetic, it's phonetic, context, and grammar. The 3 need to match.
Yes.
And this is thinking in English. When you are thinking in English, processing the information in the video, is a logic that we need to connect. Everything needs to connect. Okay.
Hey, teacher.
Good job. Good first participation, Arthur. Very nice. So let's pass to the next one. Laurita, do you have the rest of the information or do you want to listen again?
Yes.
Yes, which one? Do you have the information or do you want to listen?
You asked me.
Good job. Very good. You asked me. Okay.
If you. I hear can.
Sounds very similar. Phonetics match, but it's not can. I'm gonna help you.
Yes.
Can is considered present.
Okay.
And we are speaking in past.
Okay. You could drive.
Of course. Let's go. You could drive. You could drive. Everybody pronunciation. You asked me if you could drive.
You
could drive.
You asked me if you could drive. Ask me if, like the person. Dennis, don't separate me if together. Ask me if.
That's me.
Ask me if you could drive.
Ask me if you could drive.
Now listen to the video.
You ask me.
Yes.
Back to an amusement place. The local
Wait, Poppy, can I drive, please?
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
Super fast. Ask me if you could drive. You see? Because when we are reading, it's super slow. You asked me if you could drive, but this is didactical English. In real English,
That's me.
Ask me if you could drive. That's right. Questions, people.
No, teacher.
Okay. So then, Laurita, open the next. Okay.
I was gonna forget.
Girl, get middle of me telling you about business. You asked me if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
Girl,
Can you repeat, please?
Of course.
get in the middle of me telling you about business. You asked me if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
Girl,
I understand. I don't understand, teacher.
No, nothing.
Always, no. No, only I.
Okay. This one is correct.
Okay.
Final repetition.
Yes, please.
Let's go.
get in the middle of me telling you about business. You asked me if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
No, teacher.
That was too fast. Quickly. Okay, no problem. Let's go to Benji. Benji, do you have information or do you want to listen again?
I believe they says no, she says you asking no forget.
So you are correct. You are correct in forget, but the idea doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. You asking no forget sounds like a anime. The name of the anime in Japanese, you know.
Is something like you are asking don't forget, something like.
As you can see, in this specific idea, you need more information. And the audio doesn't match.
Okay.
So eliminate that information. It's probable, but the audio doesn't match. So we need to go back. First repetition.
Girl, get in the middle of me telling you about business. You asked me if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
Girl,
Cows?
Cows?
No.
Do you know what is a cows? These are cows.
Cause.
Cows. I don't speak Spanglish. Pronunciation?
Cow? No.
Okay, the symbol. Let's go to the interactive soundboard. And let's pronounce this symbol over here.
Ah. Say that with me. Ah.
Transition?
Cause?
Cause, very good.
Cause.
Exactly, because these are cows.
Yes.
Okay, cows
Like
versus
cocoa.
Like cocoa, exactly. Yes. Cocoa cows and this is cause.
Cause.
Okay. You are totally correct, brother. Yes.
Okay.
Over here. Okay. Final repetition.
I can't get my hands on that wheel.
The local
Wait,
coordinator
Poppy, can I drive, please?
In the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
Girl,
Gonna.
You are very good. Very, very good. So, Benji, by logic, you need to tell me this by grammatical logic.
AM. Bueno.
The verb to be, no?
Yes, verb to be.
You're close. I am gonna forget sounds like a prediction, a future plan. Because
Okay.
I am gonna is for plans. Is she speaking about plans?
No.
Then it's not I am gonna. But you are very close. Grammatically, you need the verb be.
Gonna is past? No.
Gonna is a contraction.
Okay.
It's a
It's the
reduction.
contraction de going to.
Exactly.
Or no?
Of going to. Spanglish. It's a
Going
contraction
to.
of going to.
Yes.
So what is necessary?
I will? No.
I will gonna. This is a classic
No.
mistake. Do you need help? Okay, everybody, what is a mysterious word, guys? Who can tell me?
Maybe if.
Is Arthur say if the conditional?
No.
Yes.
Incorrect, impossible.
Where?
Is the verb to be in
It was.
Laurita is correct. Charlie is correct. I was gonna forget. So Benji, you were super hot, but it was not in present. It was in past. The phonetic and context match. Listen again.
in the middle of me telling you about business, you asked me if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
Girl, forgetting about business, you asked me if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
Girl,
Cause I was gonna forget. Everybody repeat. Cause I was gonna forget.
Because I was gonna forget.
Watch out. I was no. I was. I was gonna.
I was.
I
Was gonna
was gonna
forget.
forget.
I
It's
Was
not.
gonna forget.
I was no. I was. I was.
I was.
I was.
I
gonna-
was.
I was.
Cause
Exactly.
I was gonna.
I was gonna forget. I was gonna forget.
Exactly. Because
I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna forget.
I was.
Gonna
I was.
Cause I was gonna forget. Okay.
That's how teacher is.
It's difficult.
Yes. Phonetics change. Phonetics change all the time.
if you could drive.
Because I was gonna forget.
Because I was gonna forget. Right?
was gonna forget.
Do you understand why is was gonna? Do you understand Darian's expression?
I don't get it.
I don't get it, right? Because teacher gonna is future, no?
Yes.
So was gonna is future past? I don't understand. That is the secret. Okay. If, attention, eh? If I don't interrupt my dad, I was going to forget to tell him, to make my question. If I didn't interrupt in this moment, I was forgetting my question. Switch to Spanish. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? ¿Quién le entendió?
Repeat, please, teacher.
Yes, of
Imaginary
course.
situation.
Imaginary situation? Yes, something similar. Let me repeat for Arthur. If I didn't interrupt you, I was going to forget. ¿Qué dije?
Is correct. Said I was forgetting.
Exactly. Yes, it's
Is
correct.
similar.
It's an interrupted action.
Okay.
If you observe the Structures Handbook, this. Structures Handbook number 4 is an interrupted action. I was where plus ing. Do you see this? I was going to, and going to contraction, gonna. I was gonna forget.
Mhm.
Okay.
So the formula matches. Grammatically, perfect match. Phonetically, perfect match. Contextually, ¿qué dijimos? ¿Qué significa I was gonna forget? Ya hizo match la gramática, ya hizo match la fonética. Ahora, ¿qué significa?
Pues yo iba a olvidarlo.
Olvidaría.
Se me olvida. ¿No?
Isti latino.
Ah.
Porque él sí dijo, yo olvidaría, pero esta no es una realidad alterna en donde no, o sea, es una imaginary situation, pero por ahí va. No es el olvidaría. Es yo iba a olvidarlo si no te decía ahorita, antes de que nos subiéramos al carro.
Porque dice que es la causa de que se le olvide.
No, se te olvidó algo antes de ahorita. Dice aquí, Darian. Wait,
Es que-
papi. Can I drive?
Ajá. O como no la dejan manejar, se le va a olvidar.
Por ahí va. Ajá, por ahí va. ¿Qué querías decir, Isti?
Es que yo lo relacioné, por ejemplo, cuando decimos going to, siempre lo utilizamos con el verbo ser o estar. Entonces yo voy, y si entonces lo utilizamos con el verbo ser estar en pasado, para mí es un iba. Yo iba a ir, ¿no? O se me iba, ¿no?
Ok, entonces le atinaste por traducción, pero no estamos entendiendo el contexto.
No, sí.
A ver, explícanos el contexto.
Pues es que ya dice que... Espera, perdón.
No manches, invita.
Perdón.
Hace hambre.
Aprovecho.
Sí.
Ya nos antojaste.
Sí,
Buen
GPI.
appetit.
Buen apetito.
Sorry. O sea, así como de papá, puedo manejar, ¿no? Y luego él dice, ella como que en medio de o sea, en medio de esto, ella me lo dice y me lo pregunta. Pero ella dice, si no se lo decía ahora, yo iba a olvidar decírselo, ¿no?
Ajá.
O sea, como que estaban viendo un asunto importante. Bueno, en ese momento estaban en un contexto diferente y ella, pues sí, es una interrupción.
De qué le estaba hablando el papá
Pues
cuando
es
la
un,
interrumpió?
pues, bueno, es que
Más bien, más bien.
le quiere enseñar su negocio, ¿no? A ella. Él ha decidido enseñarle el negocio a ella, por eso como que le invitó, ¿no? O están en esa
Ujú,
casa.
ujú. Entonces cuando van saliendo, el papá le empieza a contar algo y el otro, espérate, puedo.
Sí, o sea, para ella no es importante como aprenderlo, sino como la parte de que le enseña a manejar.
Ella lo que quiere es manejar, exacto. ¿Ya le
Mm.
entendieron el I was gonna forget?
No, entonces, ¿cuál sería la traducción?
¿Cuál sería la traducción? Tú dime, porque la traducción siempre tiene que depender de cómo tú
El
entiendes el
contexto.
idioma. Ajá, de cómo tú hablarías, porque yo no te puedo como eh, imponer una traducción. El
No.
chiste de este tipo de ejercicios es que tú entiendas como tú lo comprenderías en español.
Ujú.
A mí me causa conflicto nomás el caos y yo entendería que como, ok, olvídalo, ¿no? Ok, eh, sí, olvídalo.
Claro, pero es que no estás, ahí si piensas en olvídalo, no estás identificando los tiempos gramaticales, porque was gonna no se traduce a olvídalo. Ahí estamos mal, no en traducción, sino en tiempos.
Ya,
Olvídalo es directo, forget it, olvídalo. Pero was gonna forget, eso no es directo, es un pasado.
Siento que le dice como, si no te lo digo ahorita, bueno, ahorita voy a olvidarlo. O sea, no sé,
Exacto.
le está dando la razón de, de por qué le interrumpió y que lo va a olvidar.
Por eso dice cos, claro, la razón es because. Por supuesto. Es que el papá le pregunta, ¿por qué me interrumpes? Ay, pues porque si no te interrumpo ahorita, pues se me iba a olvidar.
Ujú.
ya,
¿Ya tiene sentido?
Sí.
yes,
Cos significa por because.
because,
Ujú.
Y
yes.
because es por qué.
Ay, ¿por qué les gustan las contracciones?
Así es. Pero, ¿qué crees? A nosotros también nos gustan las contracciones.
Nos
En
comemos
español,
palabras, ¿no?
sí, claro, en español nos comemos palabras todo el tiempo. No nos damos cuenta porque es nuestro idioma natal. Pero especialmente hablando de acentos, uff, se comen un buen de letras. En la tarde estaba escuchando una entrevista con Babo, el de Cártel de Santa, el rapero.
Ujú.
El vato es de Santa Catarina, de Monterrey. Y el vato que come como tres palabras antes de hablar y está hablando sin una consonante y se la come. O sea, literalmente no pronuncia palabras correctamente, pero la entendemos. ¿Por qué?
Porque conocemos el idioma.
Porque conocemos el idioma en su base estándar. ¿Sí? O sea, el lenguaje estandarizado ya lo conocemos. Entonces, si un yucateco llega y me cambia el acento, yo sé qué está diciendo por el contexto, por el significado de las palabras y por algunas fonéticas que van a hacer match. A pesar de que sea otro acento y a veces hasta otra palabra. ¿Por qué entendemos a gente que habla español de España? Porque nuestra base es la misma. Solamente van a haber cambios de acentos. Es lo único que va a cambiar. Entonces, en este caso, aunque digan cause, sabemos que es because. Por eso era muy incisivo yo al decirle a Benji, ¿seguro que caos? Porque no, según yo, en el video no están hablando de vacas,
No,
¿right?
ya no sabía cómo se pronunciaba.
Cuando no sepas cómo se pronuncia, cópiales. Cópiale su pronunciación. Aunque no sepas cómo se escribe, te va a decir, escucho cos. Cause I was gonna forget.
Ok.
Y ahí usas tu oído para reforzar las palabras que ya te sabes. Porque aquí ya te sabías cos, pero lo pronunciaste como se lee en español,
Ajá, sí, exacto.
¿no? Eso
Sí,
es nada más conectar las tres esquinas que les manejo acá.
la triada.
Exacto. Es la trifecta de la comprensión. Cuando logras conectar esos tres puntos, entiendes el idioma. Ahorita están tantitos desconectados. Mi chamba es forzarlos a que se conecten. Pero para allá van.
Ahí vamos, ahí vamos.
Ahí vamos. Es el segundo video.
Teacher, is very difficult in phonetics.
Arthur es very... Ah, sí. Los fonéticas... ¿Te refieres a que a escuchar las fonéticas o los símbolos?
Escuchar.
Ok. Esa parte es exclusivamente de... Pues justo lo que le decía a Benji, precisamente. Si tú escuchas que en el video dice cuz, y tú te escuchas a ti mismo diciendo caos, algo está mal. ¿Right? La
Okay,
fonética es nada más... Algunas palabras ya las vas a conocer. Entonces, muchas de las palabras que van a platicar las personas en los videos dependen mucho de que tú escuches y trates de duplicar lo que están diciendo y dentro de esa duplicación identifiques palabras. Esa es la parte difícil, right? Cuando tú conectas phonetics con las palabras que conoces, vas a identificarlas mucho más fácilmente. Eso lo puedes estudiar con el diccionario, hermano. Con el Oxford Learner's Dictionary. Ahorita te paso el enlace. Al principio del curso, les comentaba a tus compañeros que entrando a este diccionario, me gusta mucho por dos razones. Uno, te dice la fonética precisamente de palabras que ya conoces. Te voy a enseñar aquí un filtro de palabras A1, A2 y B1. ¿Ok? Y digamos que la palabra, por ejemplo, esta palabra, por ejemplo, cuando tú la lees directamente, diríamos accommodation. Pero tu nivel de inglés te permite saber que no se dice así, ¿right? Sin ver los símbolos, ¿cómo se pronuncia esta palabra? ¿Cómo la pronunciarías?
Accommodation.
Exacto. Accommodation. Ese es el vínculo que hacemos con fonética y palabras. Hay palabras que ya ni siquiera las leemos como literalmente están escritas, por nuestro nivel de inglés precisamente. Entonces, lo que tenemos que identificar cuando habla una persona en inglés es esto. Ellos van a decir esto. Y nosotros tenemos que conectar esto con esto. Entonces, primero tenemos que empezar por acá. ¿Qué están diciendo? ¿O qué palabras están pronunciando los americanos? ¿Y qué palabras conozco yo? Para hacer match. Este justo es el punto 1 y 2. Los phonetics van a hacer match con contexto y vocabulario. Siempre.
Ok, teacher.
Alright. Esto requiere práctica. Esa conexión es pura práctica, Arthur. Pura práctica. Right. Entonces, por pura curiosidad, si quieres, les paso de nuevo el link del diccionario y por pura curiosidad, entren a las listas de Oxford 3000 y 5000, que son las 5000 palabras que están organizadas por nivel, lo filtran con A1, A2 y B1 y vayan picándole. Chequen las palabras que existen, chequen cuáles se están pronunciando bien, cuáles se están pronunciando mal, para que con eso ejerciten su forma de leer y de procesar el vocabulario. Alright. El enlace va directo a ustedes. Practice, practice, practice. Any questions, my people?
No, teacher.
Right.
No, teacher.
Esto es para darles la misión. Recuerden que esa es su misión de este nivel. Vamos empezando. Hay mucho que hacer todavía. Ánimo. Right?
Thank you.
All right, my people.
Bueno.
Así de bueno, dice. Ánimo, vamos empezando. Sí, el nivel anterior estaba fácil.
Sí, este
Sí.
es very difficult.
Ahora sí, ya pasamos de nivel.
Sí.
Sí, eso se vale, se vale. Es el impacto del primer mes nada más. Los demás se vuelven mucho más sencillos.
It's not for babies.
Sí, este no es for babies. Este no es for babies. Definitivamente.
Este ya de pubertos.
Exactamente, ya estamos terminando la secundaria.
Sí, exacto.
Seguirle dando.
Okay.
Alright, gente.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
later, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Night.
Good, teacher. See you.
Bye, guys. See
Good
you.
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Que estés mejor. Bye.
Thank you, Laurita. Thank you very much.